there was ash falling from the sky. It made people pretty nervous. So even though Cooper Landing is in the set phase, a lot of the folks here were ready to go. What if you can't take that test before you come to Alaska? Well, at all of the major airports, we have COVID-19 testing facilities, and I'll go ahead and show you what they look like. I don't think I've ever had a conversation like this before.
I don't either.
We're using the building as kind of a barrier between us and the elements, but you step outside and right away you're hit with sleet. They are caravanning people down this road, but you can see it's smoky conditions. Fortunately, serves as an example as to just how powerful that storm was last night. Behind me, that's a roof. And for households with college students, that price tag goes up. So let's talk money-saving techniques. This doesn't quite look as good as some of the arrangements that they have here, so I'm gonna go ahead and leave it to the professionals. And when you're delivering presents around the world, that's pretty hard to do on an empty stomach. The gym at the Lake Otis YMCA is finally open, so if you need to brush up on those skills, you're in luck as the morning edition continues. No! If only the rain fell sooner. Then Al Fisher might not be living in a campsite.
Well, I've got an 8x14 tent in this 12x14 awning, which a neighbor referred to as a redneck man cave because I have a recliner in it.
Not much for entertainment here, which is fine for Al because when the rain lets up, it's back to work.
Oh. It was quiet and peaceful. It kind of looks like a war zone now.
Missing his home of 40 years, his dog of 13.
When the last time I saw her, she was underneath the house. There was like firemen all around the house, and she was freaking out. She was on her last legs, so.
His cars, his beloved tools.
Before the fire, I'd be using a battery-operated drill right now.
The McKinley fire took what he had, so he's rebuilding by hand, just like he did with his cabin before. He has no choice. He has no insurance.
None whatsoever, no.
He said that's the case for many of his neighbors as well. But this Vietnam veteran is resilient. He has to be, with fall right around the corner.
This is the old cabin, the remnants of it.
A neighbor dug this pit for him. Fire crews check up on him daily.
And I've had friends offer to help. I've got a lot of friends here.
But rain is falling and winter is coming, so he'll find a way. For Channel 2 News, I'm Samie Solina. It's a big day for fishermen. For Alaska Mining and Diving Supply, a go-to business for all of the shrimping needs.
The shrimp opener, it's kind of our season kickoff, just like it is sports in the NFL.
That explains all the fishermen on their way through the tunnel into Whittier. A day of loading up before heading out.
Oh, hopefully filling our freezers and filling other people's freezers and, yeah, catching some shrimp.
Kina Busby is especially thankful for the start of the season. She's out of work as a hairstylist because of the pandemic. But luckily, she and her husband can start commercial fishing.
Being able to do these things together is our livelihood and means a lot to us.
This season will help Kina and others get through the hard times. But overlooking the harbor, watching the fishermen drive in, are some less than enthusiastic residents.
85 to 90% of our residents live in the baggage towers.
About 150 people, most of the town, live in one building.
It is everyone under one roof. And the catch is we all share the same elevator, we share the same hallways, we share the same airspace.
Crystal Sobrino lives there. Now she's busy at work at the inn at Whittier, delivering food to essential workers and making sure her son does his schoolwork. But when she's done for the day, she and her child will go home to that building with shared ventilation systems, elevators, and laundry rooms.
Because we're all living so close together, we can't really restrict our front door.
She understands that people need to fish, but some residents are worried that those out of town will bring in the virus and COVID-19 will spread quickly.
The greatest concern, the majority of questions regards who comes through the tunnel, who's allowed to come through the tunnel, and what is the city doing?
The city manager said that luckily the harbor and towers are separated and boaters will be informed not to go into the residential part of town.
Drop your boat in, go fishing, bring your boat back in, see you on the way out the tunnel. We'll wave. Thank you for coming.
He's expecting hundreds to come through that tunnel.
Community is clearly concerned, rightfully so, we all are. There is commerce that has to go on. There's people that are going to be launching their boats not only for subsistence use, which is folks that need that boost to get their freezers filled. They don't have the income right now, especially now.
There are different opinions about how this needs to be handled.
There are quite a few residents, and they're very outspoken about it. They would prefer that the tunnel was shut down.
But what every Alaskan has in common is that they want to get through this pandemic too. For the Morning Edition, I'm Samie Solina.
You wouldn't think it's a lucky day for the driver who slid into this ditch along Tudor near the Seward Highway after she pulled off onto an icy road when she said a driver was following too close behind. But Roselle Hogue would beg to differ.
But I'm okay. A little bruised, but I'm okay.
Just a few bruises and a wreck that drew the attention of more than drivers passing by.
Yeah, a huge one.
But Hogue said the biggest loss was inside.
Just my cupcakes and my water. That's fine. I don't care about the other stuff.
She is lucky.
All of them are gone.
Her cupcakes,
No.
not so much.
They're still gonna be eaten. I think they're still okay.
Oh, they're good. This is good.
Smiles and laughs come from the driver whose car was pulled from a ditch.
Oh, yeah. Yes, I am lucky. I'm still alive. Nothing happened to me. It's just my car.
She'll just need a good mechanic and another batch.
I know, my cupcakes, man.
For Channel 2 News,
That's the first thing I looked at.
I'm Samie Solina.